I need a hero. Oh, I did the wrong
can
one.
be your
No.
baby.
We were gonna intro the bit. No.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Everyone, pretend you saw nothing. We are now going live in 5.
And they say the hero can save us.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
It's 2 minutes for roping. I like that. You're a jabroni.
Hi, everyone. We nailed that intro, I think, really.
Never better.
Nailed it. Oh,
We're back.
genuinely
Another
awesome.
heroes back bracket.
Another bracket, baby.
It's
Wonderful
Wednesday
time of the
night.
year.
It's What the Show. My name is AJ Lancaster. I'm one of your hosts. To my left, we have, of course, the one and only Deacons.
Yes.
Yep.
Be-
The deep
below
couch.
her,
Let's go.
The D couch. Here we go, baby. We have Hero Juice, and with her triumphant return to the internet, we have the one and only Kelsey.
Absolutely.
We're so happy you're here tonight to talk
Yeah.
heroes with us.
Kelsey,
Yes, thanks
what's
for
it-
having me.
What's it like? I know that you haven't been on the internet. Like you've just been logged out in the woods for how long now?
Very long years now. Like what's going on in pop culture? Like I don't know anything going on. So
Mostly, I'm going to
throw
tell
me
you
in on the last 3 years and we'll be fine.
one really sad fact. She still hasn't dropped Rep TV. Okay, that's really the only.
That's all I need to know.
It hasn't happened yet. So really, you're fine. You haven't missed anything. We're all here.
Backstory for everybody. Kelsey went on the darkness retreat at the same time as Aaron Rodgers. She just got back.
Yes, she just stayed. She really committed to the bit. Aaron Rodgers was a little wimp, and he dipped out real quick. Is what it is essentially.
What the Show Hall of Famer in the villains bracket, Aaron Rodgers.
That is true. He is officially, as an inductee of this year, 2025, Aaron Rodgers, What the Show, Hall of Fame villain.
So let's talk about the heroes, though.
You're so weird.
Previous inductees. Our Heroes Hall of Fame is
Ooh.
getting pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, because every once in a while, we've just been like, fuck it, they don't need to go on the bracket. They're just going in. Plus, we do 2 weeks of Heroes brackets each year now.
The most important one was last year when Moose and I colluded to get Scooch Scotch.
Yeah.
So let's
Not even his real name.
let's recall this. We have Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai, Brother Lomas,
Probably.
Hollywood's
Hollywood's
James Remar,
James Remar,
John Williams,
obviously.
Paul Preston and Adam Witt, the movie guys,
Of course.
the ride, the Ichi Adventure,
Given.
Yes.
Stephen Scotch, who we have renamed Scooch Scotch,
Scooch Scotch.
who
I
is
think he would love that nickname.
I think he would. He did tweet us back when we told him that he won the Heroes bracket last year. So I really think you would love the nickname we came up for him.
the legendary Rhino himself, Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti.
This one's kind of sad right now, actually. Donald Sutherland,
Oh,
No.
that is kind of sad.
but respect. Somebody who didn't. We decided one day he got mad on the sidelines, and we said, "Fuck it, doesn't need to go onto a bracket again."
Never needed to compete.
Motor City Dan Campbell is in the Hall of Fame.
MCDC, baby.
Would have blown through it if we had him on any
Yeah.
bracket.
Oh,
Like,
it would
let's
have
be
been New
fair.
Kevin, obviously.
PLD and Kim Denuzio are in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
I
is-
mean, one of those is fair. I'm not sure about the other one.
yeah. I'll let you all decide.
And Jason Kelsey is also in the Hall of Fame.
And I want everyone to know this was pre-Taylor Swift. We just like that he said jabroni once.
No, that was
And-
Travis.
Oh, that's right. That was Travis.
Jason got in.
Jason got in.
Jason got in
because-
through that kid's phone. Like,
Yes. It was. Well, was it the kid's phone or was it just his overall enjoyment of life?
well, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. When we nominated him last year, had he thrown the kid's phone, or did that happen after?
We put him right into he went right into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He did.
He's just a good dude, all around.
Cool ally.
Hashtag girl dad.
So let's jump right into this because like the past couple of brackets have taken a long time.
Yes.
So.
I can't believe we have that many. We really just kind of let a bunch of people get into the heroes because we just have so many heroes.
We have love for heroes, and if someone's worthy, they get
have
in.
so many that this year, because Moose and I colluded last year to get our boy Scoochgosh, the victory, that we are going to do 2 parts, kind of like we did last year. But this year, it's more what we're calling modern day heroes. So people we've grown to love in the last year or so, which is tonight's bracket.
There's 1 or 2 in there.
There's 1 or 2 that have been around for a long time. And then other ones are more in like the John Williams category, in which they are like all-time greats, you know?
That'll be next week.
Yeah, that's next week. Just to clarify for everyone keeping score at home.
All right, let's jump right into it.
Oh, one of these was my nominee.
Yes. All right. Kicking things off, we have Windows 95 Man. And say his name and he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I love Windows 95 Man so much.
Look at that. Can we just pull that picture back up, actually? Look at that stash. Look at those curls. Look at this pixelated image on his hat and his shirt. Like, what an icon.
He was
Just
in the
absolute
Eurovision contest,
unit.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And he had to pixelate his shirt and his hat so he didn't get like sued by Microsoft.
Yeah. Which I respect. I respect that. Copyright laws, man. They're rough. It's tough out there.
So, Kelsey, do you know the backstory on either of these individuals?
I know nothing about either of these individuals, so I feel like this is going to be great because everything I know about them is coming from you guys.
Okay.
Oh, look, a fellow chaotic neutral Hall of Famer.
Hey.
Hey, Nat.
Oh yeah.
Did we all induct last week?
We
Didn't go over that.
Last week's stream got so out of control, we decided to induct 5
people.
The chaotic
3 of them were on stream.
The newest entries into the Chaotic Neutral Hall of Fame are the Six Flags America Stunt Show,
Damn straight.
the Italian American Facebook group,
Also damn straight.
Justin the Juice,
Not
Nat
doing.
Boo, and Zach Granke.
Yeah. Oh, that was so great. Zach Greinke had already lost in the first round, and we
He
still
lost.
put him in the Hall of Fame.
We're gonna end up in the Hall of Fame. That's Kate. There he is. Positional Hall of Famer. All right, sorry. Getting back to the task at hand. I got us distracted there.
So Joe Hendry is a Scottish wrestler who's becoming big in like the indie leagues, but they let him wrestle in WWE sometimes. And his entire bit is like opposed to John Cena, You Can't See Me. It's his theme song is the whole bit. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. So somebody will say his name and then he'll just show up.
He appears. He's pretty great. I don't even do the wrestling, but the bits of the wrestling of which I've watched, which I did have to watch.
The Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble.
You're watching WrestleMania with me if I'm home.
Yay. I watched. I'm so excited. A good chunk of the Royal Rumble, and my favorite part may have been his appearance, to be honest. It's a bop of a theme song, truly. He gets the crowd going.
He sings his own theme song, by the way.
Yeah, he plays guitar on it, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty impressive. Like I give him, actually wrote the song too, so
yeah,
he gets a lot of credit.
It truly is it's a bop, I will say.
And then Windows 95 guy.
Yes, throw him back up. Real quick. We need a visual one more time of this beautiful soul.
By the way, Kelsey, he is wearing a jort thong.
A jort thong. Fascinating. I see that it's not in the picture.
Yeah, it's not, maybe obvious reasons.
And does a whole house music dancing bit. It's pretty special stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough.
We all know this is Joe Hendry, right?
Joe Hendry is going to win, but Windows 95 Man needed to be brought up.
We had to give him some love. The George song, just his overall ambiance.
Yeah. I intentionally put the two that, like, I knew Joe Hendry was going to win no matter what, at least one. So I was like, somebody who deserves to be mentioned, but I don't think stands a chance of getting very far in it. Windows 95 Man, we salute you. You deserve to be on this bracket, but Joe Hendry is going to advance.
Yes.
Yeah. And just as a side note, it's one of those ones that was like a 10 o'clock at night text to our group chat of I think did I discover him or was it one of you guys?
It was you.
This seems like okay.
And most
This is either an AJ or a Mike thing. I knew it. But it's just guys. We need to acknowledge this.
We need to acknowledge this. And I agree. And we have
no conversation happening.
I'd like to pour one out for him, but we gotta go Joe Hendry. Again, he was the best bit of like a 5-hour show. So many hours. Too many hours, some might say.
So, Kelsey, one of the next two you will know. This one came in somewhat as a honor. Like this one is something. It's not like a last year thing, but we felt like it kind of deserved to go in as a tribute to Gene Hackman. We had to put this in because it is a What the Show staple. We've been talking about this movie for years. It's probably on TBS right now. So if you haven't figured it out yet, that of course is The Replacements.
Classic.
And we have AJ's hero, Nunchuck Tyler.
Okay, leave this up real quick. You see that light fixture in the top right corner?
Yes.
We know what happened to that.
I'm gonna guess I probably know. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like we could probably figure that out.
I'll put two and two together. Absolutely. Yes. I'm gonna need to hear more about him from you, AJ, because obviously he is your nominee. But yeah, can I just say that the Replacements is always a classic. Again, always streaming on TBS when you need it. Truly fun for all. I think it's really there when you need it.
I was on Benny Moose and JTE's podcast last week to talk about Mickey 17, and Moose asked because Gene Hackman had just passed. He asked what was like my favorite role, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, it's The Replacements. It's my favorite movie that he's in. It's like comfort food. Like if you're having a bad day, if something's gone wrong, you put on The Replacements and you forget about life for an hour and a half.
Sure. And
it's such a lovely experience of a movie. I really, it's one of those movies that's, I don't even want to call it a bad movie. There are things in the movie that are very over the top and unrealistic in terms of how the game of football is played, but it's such a warm blanket on a cold day. It just makes everything feel better when you have The Replacements on.
It's so good until you're an adult, not for like the silliness of the action, but you realize how anti-union this movie really is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's a little bit of a downer. I'm not gonna lie, but we forgive it because it's so
Jimmy McGinty is awesome. But here's the thing: Nunchuck Tyler,
here we go,
is doing his nunchucks.
Hit me
He's doing his nunchucks the best that he can. That's how he performed. He sings his little songs while he does his nunchucks. By the way, Nunchuck Tyler is not bad at nunchucks. He's not like impressive. He's better at nunchucks than anybody on the screen right now.
Oh,
100%.
for sure, hands down.
Have you seen me use nunchucks?
Like,
yeah, maybe Kelsey's secretly really good at it.
I'm pretty damn sure.
Oh, yeah.
But is it impressive to see? No. And when I sing that song, when I mention the song lyrics, I'm going to sing like Nunchuck Tyler for you right now as he does his nunchucks. And these are real lyrics to him. Nunchuck Tyler is doing his nunchucks. He's doing his nunchucks the best that he can.
Is this, and
kind of a bop.
Honestly, and I feel like that's
5 videos a day.
He's on my TikTok. And
he has uploaded 5 videos a day since I started following.
The best that he can. I think that's what we all need to aspire for, Sometimes we're all aspiring for perfection, but really we all just need to be trying the best that we can. And I respect him for that. Is this actually just going to be a bracket of who has a better theme song? Because I feel like it's turning into
and Windows 95 man lost.
Yeah. Sorry, Windows 95, dude.
Yeah.
Love an interactive song. Okay, it worked for the Lumineers. They were like, we're gonna make this song. People are gonna yell at us, ho hey, whatever. And it built him a whole career. And Joe Hendry was smart for that. He's like, people love an interactive song. I'm gonna make them clap. And you know what? It works. Charlie X like, yeah, she knows them clap. We get it.
Coconut Pete,
Coconut.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Is he
But with that said, I much like I believe in Joe Hendry, I believe in AJ Lancaster. And if Nunchuck Tyler is good enough for you, AJ, I know how hard you're pulling for him. I love The Replacements. This is one of those movies that Mike and I agree on. We have very vastly different tastes in movies. It's like My Cousin Vinny and The Replacements that we're both like, yeah, we can watch that at any time. Well, and Moonfall, obviously, and Twisters. If you feel it, chase it. But like other than those four movies.
We watched My Cousin Vinny again last week. That
we
movie
did.
slaps.
We legitimately really have hardcore love for My Cousin
Great.
Vinny. We're like,
Great.
you know, I kind of want to watch My Cousin Vinny. It's great. 10 out of 10. We love us some Ralph Macchio. Anyways. With that said, I'm gonna go with Nunchuck Tyler on this one. I think just because I know how near and dear he is to your heart, and I do like a bop of the theme song.
I think I'm gonna go as well. Nunchuck
Kelsey?
Tyler.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement.
Nunchuck Tyler's going on to the
Nunchuck Tyler.
second round.
Buddy, look at you.
I've never actually seen The Replacements, but I should.
I haven't either.
Okay, so The Replacements
It's
was
on TBS
literally
right now.
We might need to do a watch along. Seriously, you've never seen the
No.
Replacements? It's like the
No.
most lovely movie.
it was
We had it
It
in
was
family
the
video. I
first-
never got to the R's.
it was the first DVD. It was the first DVD that was like my movie in the house. I received it as a Christmas gift.
It's
So-
not. It's like you don't even try to watch The Replacements. The Replacements
It
finds
just
you.
happens.
It just is on, and you're like, yeah, I'll watch this. And then before you know it, every time it's on, you're like, yeah, I'll watch this. Like,
Yeah, and like
Do we
you know who
seriously do a
supports
watch
unions
along?
though? Nunchuck
have
Tyler.
this many people have not seen The Replacements?
I'm feeling like after March Madness is over, maybe the first Wednesday of April, we might be doing a
Yeah.
watch along of The Replacements.
Mhm.
Kelsey, you are invited. Lego, you are invited. Because I'd love to watch everybody just see this movie for the first time.
We're
That is
watching-
literally just
we're
one of
watching
those like if you're in a group of people and you're like, what movies should we watch right now? I feel like The Replacements could always be a candidate.
Yes, agreed.
And love The Replacements. So it's not advancing in this bracket, but we do love it.
Yes.
All right. So this next one is going to be interesting because we were trying to find more information about it today after it was nominated by one Justin Juice a while ago, and we cannot find it. So we're going to have some fun with this
We
one.
really tried.
This is actually the Justin the Juice bracket outright. This is the matchup of Justin the Juice versus Justin the Juice, as it is Dante, a Letterboxd account, versus TGI Friday.
No, this is AJ versus Juice.
Yeah, TGI Fridays I feel like is more AJ's thing, and also
Yeah.
TGI Fridays became all of our thing when we had that magical moment. Let me just break this down real quick, okay? Obviously, everyone in the stream except for Kelsey was present for this, but for Kelsey who was not present for this, and anyone in the chat, I need y'all to know this, okay?
Okay.
We go to Fridays, TGI Fridays. Right behind our hotel in Orlando because Juice had never had the pleasure of going to one. And we're like, obviously we have to take you to TGI Fridays. It's a terrible chain restaurant, but like a special place in our heart. So we go there at like
3:30.
a weird kind of transition time, like 3:30. It's not really
Yeah.
lunch. It's not really dinner. So obviously it's kind of slow.
Gotcha.
There's a bartender who's literally working on his mixtape. Okay. Like he's got, I don't know, some kind of hip hop blaring. Not appropriate. It is saying words that you should not be saying at 3:30 in the afternoon in a family establishment. Okay. He could care less that we are there. He's like, yeah, whatever. They're here. I'm working on my flow right now. We come in, we like sit down at the bar because we were trying to grab a little bite to eat, let Juice experience TGI Fridays before we go to Horror Nights. Okay. So there we are. And he basically comes up and he's like, what can I get for you? Blah, 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 blah. He's like, he doesn't care. It is so loud. I cannot hear myself think. It is decorated for Halloween because 'tis the season. This one random ass like British family comes in and they're like, hello, can anyone help us? And he's like, blah, 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 behind the bar. He does not care. It is dinner and a show, baby. And I was like, I got to tip this man well.
Yeah.
He's working on his mixtape. Okay. Like he needs
Gotta
it,
support the
you know?
dream.
Yeah, I gotta support the dream. He's trying real hard. And it was honestly, it was everything. And if TGI Fridays isn't a hero to you all after that, I don't know what is.
I've never been to TGI Fridays, and I feel that my expectation is very high.
Yeah. I mean,
Kelsey, this was the
Take
third
this
TGI
over.
Fridays I had been to that week.
That week. Nice.
2 of them.
This is
I'm
true.
talking 2 separate ones were both in the Atlanta airport during
Damn straight
one
they were.
layover.
damn
Trying to
straight.
find
they
our
were.
old thumbnail.
He went to both of them, and then he went to the one in Orlando. Now, did the ones in the Atlanta airport, both locations, have a bartender who was working on his flow?
No.
No, well, they're not clearly as good. You know, William might be right. I feel like maybe the bartender needs to be the hero. And not the bartender.
Juice did say he was going to buy it for $4,000 as we were walking into
True.
it.
This is true.
It's
This
true.
is true. I think I could buy this for $4,000. I do personally like the idea. No Dante, Juice. Could you tell
So
us a little
Dante,
bit more
okay.
about Dante?
So Dante happened at some point that we can't remember.
Yes.
And he was a Letterboxd account. We were talking about some movie, and I was on that movie, and I noticed his review or something, and I
Yeah.
clicked on it, and his account had only logged like 4 movies, and they were very like weird, funny movies. But we can't remember what those movies were. We can't remember
It's so bizarre.
what episode it was to go back and find it.
It would have been stream right the stream the week after Dune 2 hit HBO Max, because both Bethany and I loved it. Mike still's never going to watch that movie. We just accept it.
Yep.
And I will admit the best way to watch it is on a plane, the way acclaimed director Denis Villeneuve intended it to be seen. Okay. And you have to also say something really pretentiously.
You got to do it playing Bellatrix, and it's like this big on the phone.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. That's the way to do it. Tiny little corner of your screen on your phone.
Using phone speakers, guys.
It'd have been the
I
end
did
of
start a
May
trend
then.
of watching Dune 2 on the plane though, because I did it, and then I want you to know everyone around me started watching it too, and I was like, "You're welcome."
All right, let's start with the voting on this. How about Kelsey kicks it off?
This was a tough one. Okay, Dante, the legend was born, but seems to be also kind of forgotten a little bit.
Sadly.
But I'm intrigued with TGI Fridays now. I will have to check one out. So I'm gonna go that way because that one's what intrigues me.
I really hope it's the experience. Your first experience is as delightful as Juice's was.
If no one starts to flow on there, I'm just gonna have to do it myself.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yes.
Just turn up some music on the jukebox, get up on that bar, go for it. Ignore the customers and just be like, blah, blah.
This is what happens here, guys.
It was great. I loved him, honestly. I was like, great tip. We are giving this man a great tip. I just want you all to know.
Yeah, I think he probably made like $60 to $80 off of our
Off of us. Like, the 4 of us were like, we love this guy. He is not here for this job, and we love that for him. Oh.
And Bevy.
And Bevy, yes. And Bevy was there, and she also tipped him generously. I think also was like, what is happening?
Juice, who are you going for here?
Yeah, so I searched through 65 different accounts named Dante on Letterboxd today to try and find this son of a gun.
Commitment.
So for my own effort, I have to at least try to put Dante through another
I
round.
agree.
I'm looking at the Benoit, the Dream Benoit Blanc casting video episode.
Okay. Do you think that could be it? There's a chance of that.
I think it's either the Benoit Blanc or the Jeff Ultimate Exposed are the most likely, because that's where Letterboxd got brought off the most.
Right.
Yeah. Gosh, we're gonna find this, and everyone's gonna be like, "Yes, that Dante guy does seem like a hero."
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna vote for this Dante guy as a hero because he's such a hero. We can't even find him.
Yeah. What an elusive
Yeah.
guy. Man,
the other way.
I think I gotta go Fridays because truly, what a magical time that was.
AJ, you're gonna get to decide this one.
Man.
The pressure is on.
Do I let Juice continue the bit?
The whole Chibi's actually just trying to find the stream where we first talked about this guy.
Or do I profess my love to TGI Fridays? These are two of my favorite things in the world.
Think of those
Letting Juice
potatoes
continue the
and
bit.
think about how good
AJ,
they
you're
are.
gonna have some on Friday probably.
I'm sure you will be in Atlanta.
I have a layover in Atlanta.
So obviously he has to visit both of them. How long is your layover?
I'm
Do
sure
you
I
have
can
time for
find.
both?
I have a 2 hour and 20-minute layover.
Oh, you can do it.
You got it.
You got it.
You got it.
Maybe we could pull pull it with Dante, where if I can find the episode before next week's stream, we automatically
Hall of Fame.
Automatic to the Hall of Fame.
If you can find it.
That seems fair to me.
Yes, I'm voting Dante.
Dante lives on. Oh, I'm so sorry, bartender. We're great.
Love an underdog story.
Yeah.
I love you more than I love TGI Fridays, Justin.
Oh, guys, this is beautiful. Look at the camaraderie
It's a
today.
great
Look
day.
at the friendship.
It's been a great day.
This next one's very funny because we had to have a last-minute replacement today because I literally could not find a picture of the one that we intended to put. I'm Googling and going through and trying to figure out. We were going to originally have 2 separate characters from the movie Red One.
I believe you mean cinematic masterpiece.
Cinematic masterpiece.
Red One.
Red One.
To clarify.
Just ask Moose about it.
He loves it.
But unfortunately, the character Ellen the Chicken, I could not find a picture of her. And I was like, all right, she's probably not going to win the bracket. All right, well,
we're going to throw her into the Hall of Fame right off the bat.
But
seems like something we do.
AJ, in our group chat, brings up a GIF that simply has a person and the phrase winning. And I'm like, how has said individual never been on one of our brackets? And we're like, which bracket does he belong on? Well, we have a spot on this one. So
I don't know if hero is the word I would use. But I like
now, here's the thing. This isn't the first time this matchup has happened. They actually they fought outside of a Waffle House March 14th, 2003.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I'm just gonna, just please take a moment to stare at Agent Garcia. And I want you all, those cakes, the Hear Me Out cakes. I'm just saying. He'd be on mine.
Like, no, legitimately, these are the 2 biggest sex symbols on the screen.
These are great.
I think so. On our heroes bracket, you know what I mean? They might be our 2 greatest of the evening for sure. And maybe Dante. We don't know what he looks like,
Agent Garcia was the MVP of that movie.
He sure was. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I love Agent Garcia, but here's the thing about Charlie Sheen. He's not Thomas Jefferson. He's not a pussy.
He called out Chuck Lorre, who apparently is a horrible human being.
I believe that. Yes. Yes.
And he's Rick Vaughn. I mean, he's Rick Vaughn.
No, we're not doing the characters of Charlie Sheen.
I know that, but he still brought that character to life. And he went on a I actually attended the Violent Torpedo of Truth tour in what year was that? 2012 or 13, something like that.
Yeah, 2012 sounds about right.
I think it's. And let me tell you, the show I went to, he had literally flown to Washington D.C., I believe, from Los Angeles because he had a custody hearing in the morning, and then flew in. And for the first 10 minutes, that man was on fire because he was just on pure adrenaline. And then that show for the next 50 minutes was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life until comedian and roaster Jeff Ross came on and saved it, thankfully. But after the first 10 minutes of his intro, that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
I just found the quote that I was looking for from Charlie Sheen because there's so many.
Yes.
This is what he said about Chuck Lorre. Clearly, I've defeated this earthworm with my words. Imagine what I would have done with my fire-breathing fists.
Fire-breathing fist.
Charlie Sheen has my vote.
Of course he does.
If you cannot vote for Charlie Sheen in good conscience, I get it.
That's kind of where I am personally going. For a few reasons during that time. I don't know. Agent Garcia was never like sexist or like racist at any point. So I'm gonna go with him, I think, personally. If you can, that was a good caveat. If you cannot vote for him in good conscience, I understand.
Kelsey?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. AJ Garcia, not only because of the things that he said, but also like, yeah, he's got some vibes. I'm down. I'm here for AJ Garcia.
AJ Garcia could get it. Is all
He
that
could get it. Choose the bear, right?
Yes, exactly. We are literally in this situation. It's man versus bear. The ladies are always gonna pick the bear.
All right. All with that, because that's hilarious. I'll go Agent Garcia.
All right,
Yes,
Wait a minute,
pick the bear.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Quite literally, Agent Garcia has magical powers, which means in this case, Charlie Sheen picked a fight with a fucking warlock.
True. This is true.
I'm voting Agent Garcia because I'm tired of pretending I'm not a total bitch and rock star from Mars.
Also, does anyone Dante LaClerc's Chainsaw LaClerc's 2 and Clerks 3?
Are
Is
you
that
not getting
true?
the joke cues? Dante's the character.
Oh God!
You're like, wait a minute, are those the movies? Can we find him do this?
I will look at
Feels
the
ready to
profile of
research.
every single person who's watched Clerks
Never
before.
logged Clerks.
Speaking of
Holy shit, that ended up way
Mars.
better than I thought it was going to.
You
Um,
to the bit, you know?
we have
What an icon.
Olympic icon Ray Gun
Mhm.
and the Costco chicken barcode shirt man.
Yes. Two
Oh.
icons in their own right. Honestly, both legends. I'm a little sad that they're all like, oh, we probably aren't going to continue breakdancing in the Olympics. That's a mistake. It's the competition we all discuss most. This
Yes,
Olympics.
it is.
And
Give
I
the
think it's so
people what they
cool.
want.
By a landslide.
We always used to joke about in the Olympics they should always just have one regular person compete
That's Ray
so
Gun.
you can see how good the athletes are. This was the first time we saw that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know what? They were right to have said that for all those years. It really did make us appreciate how talented all the athletes were. I mean, come on. Look at the joy she brought to all of us. Look at that. So many Halloween costumes.
So many.
Just what a legend. On the other hand, Costco chicken guy, barcode guy. I mean,
You
what
don't
a-
scan your chicken. You just scan the shirt.
you just scan the shirt. What a hero, you know? That's really that's thinking.
He didn't
And
want the infrared beam on his chicken.
So direct to the heart. That's right where it needs to
That's
go.
much better.
Right to the chest.
Let it hurt him, not his chicken. That it makes
Fair.
perfect. It's a valid concern,
I'm
sir.
on page with the man.
Yes, exactly.
The man's an innovator, an icon, and created something to make us all interested for a few minutes. But so did Ray Gun.
So true.
Yeah.
For
I
so
will
many.
say there are 3 moments of things happening in the world while I was at work that I will always remember. And so, like 2 of them are tragic. Like it was like 2020, first Kobe, and then Tom Hanks with COVID.
Who could
The
forget?
other one that was like eerie, like people were checking their phones and simultaneously discovering this crazy thing while they were out in public, was Ray Gun.
Yeah. Man, up there with Hanks getting the vid,
That's big.
that's pretty
It's-
icon status, I have to say. Wow.
You know, Costco chicken shirt guy is fun, but Ray Gun's an icon. I'm voting for Ray Gun.
Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah,
Ray
Ray
Gun,
Gun,
right?
And they're
Yeah. We're all in agreement. All right, Ray Gun, you're moving on to the next round.
This next one's fun.
Oh, this next one, yes. Okay. Here we have Justin the Juice, recently inducted into the Chaotic Neutral Hall of Fame, against Alessandra, our Uber driver, on the way back to our hotel from Sloppy Taco Palace.
Who wants to tell it? I think
guys.
Bethany is probably the best one to tell this story.
Is it because I was
The
the
most
most
cogent.
sober? Was I the most sober? I don't know.
Bethany was.
Bevy probably was. I had just come off from meeting BDSM Trevor Lawrence. That's a sentence you didn't think y'all were going to hear tonight. It's a long story. Anyways. So I was a little bit, I was a little excited. He's he should be on the heroes bracket. I've run from Nightmare Fuel. Anyways, with that said, we had just wrapped up night 2 of Halloween Horror Nights, which again, let's reiterate, night 1 started with Mixtape Boy, bartender at TGI Fridays, an iconic night of houses. The next night, we have an iconic night of houses. We've done everything. We're a little tired. We want to go, do what everyone does in Orlando. Go to the Sloppy Taco Palace.
I'd like to point out that the boys went both nights.
Boys went both nights. Yeah. The girls didn't.
You were out.
Because the girls value their beauty sleep more. But anyhow, the night 2, we're like, yeah, baby, bet, let's go, So we do this. We have a magical evening. But then let me tell you about Alessandra, who picked us up from the Uber. We're all a little tipsy. We're all a little slap happy. We're all a little tired.
Yeah.
That's SVP. Yes, this is where we were standing when she picked us up. She comes. She is a delight. And also to preface this by saying every other Uber driver we had this weekend literally acted like they didn't even know their name. Because, you do the safety, like, Michael, when you hop in the car and they're like, Bethany, and you're like, and you get in. I would be like, Steve? Dead silence. Hey, how you doing? Dead silence. Everyone else did it. She comes out. She is life of the party. She's like, oh, hello. She was like Eastern European of some sort, I think.
English second language.
English was definitely her second language. We were just like, oh yeah, because she's like, what were we doing tonight? And we're like, oh, like we're all in town, like friends from town. And she's like, it's your birthday, happy birthday! And starts singing happy birthday, and we're like, none of us said it was our birthday. I don't know if we're like, happy birthday to you in the car with Alessandra. It was a riot. She was fantastic. I don't know, like AJ, were you all the way up in the front? I think she was.
I was in the passenger seat.
She had a couple of extra conversations with you. Yes, more about the tacos. It was everything. We had just had a delightful evening. Again, can't stress enough. We've had a couple shots. We're feeling it. And this Eastern European lady rolls up in her little it's like an SUV, I think.
Yeah, because there's 5 of us.
So she rolls up in her little black SUV. Drops us off, and we're like, we love you, Alessandra.
And then she yells at the end one more time, happy birthday!
And I'm not sure whose birthday it is, but yes, happy birthday to us all, What a legend.
I just want to point to the sidebar because Sloppy Taco Palace is taking over the chat. Sloppy Taco Palace is a dirt cheap place to go eat and drink.
This is where Universal employees frequent after a late night shift.
Very close, and they do a late night happy hour. Ben Bateman somehow managed to rack up an over $200 tab there.
Which is really astonishing because I can't stress how dirt cheap it is. But because it's dirt cheap, it's also delicious. It is so good. Again, we mentioned my friend Bevy was present with us. She was from Southern California, grew up with a Guatemalan Mexican mixed family, and she said these tacos are fire. So if she says the tacos are fire, they're fire. And it's great. It's truly a hole in the wall. Absolutely. They have a vending machine that sells weird stuff. It's also kind of the origins of our love stories. We have a special place in our heart for it. What kind of brought us together, the old STP. But yeah, so we're like, this is where the magic happened, everyone. And then Alessandra came and picked us up, and she was just delightful. Maybe STP also. STP is going into
STP.
STP is going
into I've decided it. Juice, would you like to argue about why you're great?
Not really. I'm talking about being a villain or being chaotic.
Juice is a dear friend. He's fantastic. He'll spill his coffee. I also brought this up in Chaotic Neutral. He'll spill his coffee, but do it in such a hysterical way. He takes early flights, which is great. That means he will be the only person who makes it into town when everyone else gets stuck in airports trying to get there. And we
always the first one
him for that. He is truly a hero. His downfall is Aperol Spritz, but we're not going to hold that against him. He will try to buy a whole house for $4,000, a 5-bedroom house on the outskirts of Orlando for $4,000. And a TGI Fridays.
He'll join a synchronized dance at the
yes. I so badly wanted to go full
This is true. STP is the hero. Yeah, I really was.
I think that just for that entire experience of the dancing of that bar, Man.
Because Kelsey, we're at a what do you call it? Essentially a themed, like an 80s horror themed.
Yes, it was fantastic.
It's
So
like,
I stayed there
pretty
all
much,
night.
it's the Thriller music video, basically.
Yeah,
Nice.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Lost Boys meets the Thriller music video is the vibe of this bar.
Love
And they're
it.
all and all that the actors are
Mhm.
look like these 80s characters, and they're dancing and have all this synchronized dance. And I almost jumped into the middle of a synchronized dance and just went crazy.
You got
but I did
out
dance
there
a
a
bunch.
bit though. And you got like groups of people's attention.
There were a lot of eyes.
I think for that reason I'm voting for you, Juice.
Wow. Wow, I like that our own friend we consider an upset. Just to be clear, in case no one has noticed the theme so far, Juice has been on every bracket.
Juice feeling Paul Revere with that
esteemed honor, the Paul Revere of 2025. Juice, you know I love you. You know I voted for you in chaotic neutral, but I have to give some love to Alessandra. She was just such a delight.
Juice is in a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's already in the Hall of Fame.
No, yeah, you don't vote for me.
But you are a hero in my heart, just so you know.
We'll see you next week, Juice.
Yeah.
Oh, am I on that one too?
Yeah.
You will be.
You have another shot. You have another shot at winning hero.
All right, yeah.
All right, Alessandra, you have advanced. All right, this one's kind of one for me because I'm cool with either one of these going, but like probably my two favorite pop culture moments of last year are going head to head. They had to go head to head because it would feel wrong for me to put the two that I really wanted on this spread out. It's the band Gojira for what happened at the Olympics.
Pretty iconic.
And the SNL Beavis and Butthead.
This might be the hardest one yet.
I know ever so slightly where I lean. Yes, I'm gonna let you all hash this out.
Well, the SNL Beavis and Butthead. The funny thing is, it's like Beavis and Butthead are not really. They're there as the joke, as the background joke, but they're not really playing Beavis and Butthead. They just are two people who happen to look like them, realistically. And it's the chaos that they cause just by being there, which I absolutely love, because like that's almost a chaotic neutral kind of shit. Because I'm thinking about it, because
they were being neutral.
That's energy I want to bring to a room when I enter.
they were just there, and but PJ brings up exactly what I was gonna say. When they did the Fall Guy, when Mikey Day and Ryan Gosling did when Ryan Gosling got done with the red carpet, then went back around and came back as Beavis, was one of the funniest moments.
Yeah.
It was one of the best SNL skits of the season last year. 100%. It's probably arguably from last season might be the most known skit. I don't know if there's anything else that was. Like, I'd have to go look on YouTube at views and stuff like that, but I bet you it's way up there. If it's not number one, it's way up there. But I just wanted to say for me, and I understand if they don't win, the cultural impact that Gojira had for metalheads in a positive light from the Olympics was amazing. Mm-hmm. And to explain how much this meant, there is a show. Black Sabbath is going to do their final show ever in July, and they have a bunch of bands that are coming on to play a couple songs. And Gojira is on the bill, and they're listed like fourth. They're listed above like Alice in Chains. They're listed above like Anthrax, bands that have been around forever. That's what this performance meant. They did something on such a grand global scale that had never been done before, and had people talking about this kind of music, which has been, for mainstream purposes, not a thing for years, and got people talking about it again, and in such a cool light. So, they had to go on the list for me. I understand 100% if Beavis and Butthead go over them, that's totally fine, because I love that moment. But just for what Gojira did for the positive message for heavy metal was something it hasn't happened in a long time, so they had to go on the list.
For me, But one of my favorite things that happens on SNL is when someone breaks. Like, I would rather see someone break on camera than it just go perfectly straight the whole entire time they're doing the skit. So that's one of my favorite parts of that whole skit. It just makes the skit. She just cannot handle what she's seeing.
Together.
But I have to give it to Gojira because, like, that I still think about that performance all the time. The cinematography also and how they filmed it, and like just the visuals and everything like that. Like, it's a no skip clip if it comes up on any social media for me. Like, I gotta rewatch this because this is just amazing. So just like for the cultural impact and like just like how beautiful almost it was. I'm going that way.
I'm on the fence. So if anyone else is locked in,
I got an idea. So Mike, where's Gojira from?
France. That's
okay,
why they're there.
So Beavis and Butthead. Yeah.
I mean,
who do you?
Logic can't be argued.
When my buddy Kyle and I go to Epcot to drink around the world, we always skip France and get 2 beers in Germany.
See, even you admit.
But okay, here's the thing about like the French Pavilion is that goat cheese croissant.
That's true.
Oh my god, that goat cheese croissant.
The French Pavilion, great food. Maybe not the best drink.
It's the worst beer in the park.
Sure, at least they're not known for their. You have to get the champagne.
Slam some rosé, dude. Like, all my homies slam rosé.
My vote clearly is for Gojira. I'm sure Bethany is voting for Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
All right, so Juice, you are going to be the deciding factor on this one.
Oh man, it's very tough. It's very tough. I like both these things. I think with the passion brought in, it's tough from both. It's tough to not go Gojira.
Go Gojira.
Okay.
So Gojira will be advancing. And yes, Gojira is Godzilla. That is correct. All right. So we have the final one for the first round. One of these pertains to all of us on screen, actually. And the other is
Luna Darcy.
Not Luna Darcy. It actually
she is a hero.
It pertains to something Bethany and I experienced last year, which we will explain. These are 2 bars going against each other. It is Duff Gardens.
Oh, we all know who's gonna win.
Also, the Tyson's Corner Marriott bartenders. We'll explain them real quick.
Duff Gardens is where everyone who knows it, say it with me, where boy dinner was coined, which should become a fun phrase of this group outing. So much so that my friend Bev, who literally met Juice and AJ on this outing and had this weekend with them, goes around just quoting it sometimes in her house. And her husband is like, "What? Or why are you saying boy dinner?"
That's awesome.
And I was like, "Yeah."
That is really awesome.
But yeah, and then one time when the 2 of us went together in December, we sent a video to Mike and we were like, "Boy dinner." We passed by Duff Gardens. But yes, we love a Duff Gardens bar during HHN, so much so that the boys will just sit there for hours. The bartender being an absolute ledge and turning around the Georgia-Bama game for us because they were talking about it.
AJ and I literally were just looking at our phones, looking at the score, and the bartender's like, "Hey, I've got the game on here." Takes his phone and just puts it right in front of us so we can watch it.
So that was great. They're true icons. But obviously I do, and it does have a DeLorean right next to it. That is true, William. So it obviously gets credit for that. But since we all know Duff is probably going to advance, I would just like to give some love to the Tyson's Marriott. Is there anything else in Tyson Square Marriott?
Tyson's Corner.
Tyson's Corner. Square, corner, rectangle, octagon.
A shape.
Of some kind. They had some lovely bartenders. I did just like I started the Dune 2 on a plane trend.
Big trendsetter here.
I started the trend of, because if I see an espresso martini at a bar, I'm ordering an espresso martini. So I roll up on night 1 of wedding weekend. I'm like, espresso martini. And then I sit down and everyone's like, they had 2 espresso martinis in there, so I gotta go get an espresso martini. And then we were just we were rolling espresso martinis. I was, call me Sabrina Carpenter. I was just rolling an espresso all weekend. It was delightful. It is a corner with a lot of traffic. This is accurate. So yes, they were lovely. The bartender was very, the one guy was, I don't think they let him have a day off. He was there every night and he made me an espresso martini every night. So for you, sir, we salute you.
And so the last night we were there, our 2 of our friends who were from Florida, who moved to the area, we went to my old local bar, because we were up in Northern Virginia. So we went out to where I hung out, and we came back to the hotel for the last night we were there. And we were just sitting in the lobby, and he came up to us. He's like, "Can I get you guys anything tonight?" Like, we weren't even there to drink. And he's like, I make a mean old fashioned. I'm like, well, I gotta get one now. We weren't even sitting at the bar. He just saw us because we'd been there.
I was like, let's sit at this table in the lobby real quick. And then he's like, hello. I know I can talk you into an espresso martini. And I was like, you are correct, sir.
Very much like Windows 95, man. The bartenders at the Marriott Tyson's Corner needed to be mentioned, but Duff Gardens is advancing.
Yes, there's a big love to bartenders. Truly, bartenders are our heroes. Every bartender who had to make green beer or pour green beer this Monday, we salute you.
Yep. Extra shout out for them.
Absolutely. All right, that's the end of round 1. If anyone needs a drink, potty break, whatever, we will take a quick pause to do that. Intermission.
After round 1, we're basically like half done or better. So
yeah.
Right.
So
So now that we've established everyone, I'm sure it'll get this. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly
We'll be
feel
done. We'll be done in 20 minutes.
Always the longest. I need to bebop through the rest. The hero will emerge.
I mean, we only made it like 3 rounds into the round 2 of chaotic neutral before we ended up just giving 5 of them.
That's true. We're lovers on What the Show. We can't choose for everyone's a winner.
Which is the whole point.
It's the whole point of a bracket show.
We're
millennials, okay? We believe in participation trophies.
We do.
Quick millennial discussion, actually. My Gen Z friend sent me this list she found of people. It's supposed to be Gen Z lingo versus millennial lingo. And she's like, whoever made this doesn't understand what these words mean because they're not adding up. And also, this is the one I'm the saltiest about, is that it says Gen Z, ship, millennials, rooting for a relationship. Bitch, the term ship has existed for
a very long time.
Any person who has ever been on fanfic.net, LiveJournal, we're taking all back to
Tumblr,
LiveJournal, Tumblr, an archive of our own, knows that ship was not created by Gen Z. And I was like, the disrespect. I don't even think millennials created that. That's been around since
it might be older than
forever. Are you kidding me? And I was like, who made this list? I'm personally offended. No millennials ever gone, I'm really rooting for that relationship. No, you're like, I ship it. I ship it. That is what we have always said. That is just, yes, fanfic.net. Oh man, the good old days. You are not Gen X. You just wish that you were.
Yep. If you were not a legal adult in the year 2000, that's the line. On January 1st, 2000.
I was going to say, in the year 2000, I was, but not on
January 1st.
My brother missed the cutoff by 4 days. My brother's January 4th, 1982.
Ship is an old ass term.
So what's the cutoff for Gen X and millennial?
Were you 18 before? Were you 18 years old before January 1st, 2000?
I believe 1981 is the last year.
Yeah. My ex-husband barely missed it.
Yeah. So Mike's right on the cusp, but he wants to be Gen X so bad. And I'm like, why? They're not even cool. They were so moody and the economy was booming. Oh, you're so hard. You lived in suburbia. I wish I did.
Yeah. I'm at the very last year of millennials. I think even by a few months.
All right, Juice, do you have the bracket?
Oh yeah. Whoops.
Back to bracket talk.
Forgot about that. Wait, do you want window? Window. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, I know. Okay, there we go.
So Joe Hendry, Nunchuck
Joe
Taylor.
Hendry versus Nunchuck.
Oh man.
I love the theme songs.
Nunchuck Taylor.
Feels like an age ago that we talked about these guys.
Oh my God.
I was a different person then.
Like, oh yeah. Oh, those
Okay,
guys.
so here's the thing. If you start singing the Joe Hendry theme song, like people are like, oh, it's funny, it's a meme, that kind of thing. If you're like at work and you're like cleaning shelves and stuff, and you just start singing under your breath, Nunchuck Tyler's doing his nunchucks, your coworkers are gonna stare at you.
And he's on the TikTok, you say?
Yes, he's also on YouTube.
I'm on the Broadway Talk / Dinosaur Time Talk. I love that lady. She's just eating her greens to the Jurassic Park theme song, and I salute it. I want to start it.
Nunchuck.
So I've not seen the Nunchuck Tyler.
Oh, well, we can pull up a clip.
I'm looking him up right now to hear this theme song.
Well, and he does so many different songs, and the format of these is so great.
AJ has one that pulled up.
Oh, he's pulling one up.
Oh.
Have you not?
Actually, you know what? Here, I feel like I could share a screen, but I could also I think it's time we do this. Here.
Okay.
Just 1 second here. I've got
I think it's time we do
a
this.
clip ready.
Nunchuck Tyler, just the hero what the show needed. Most definitely the best hero of March Madness. Yeah, Nunchuck Tyler is the coolest hero ever because he wants to spread peace and love to everyone. He wants everyone to have a good day. Your day's bad? Not anymore. Nunchuck Tyler's here to save that. You having a rough time at work? Not anymore. Nunchuck Tyler will save you from your coworkers. Nunchuck Tyler is the hero that everyone needs, and they didn't know they needed. But they do. So Nunchuck Tyler should be the hero of What the Show for many reasons. Because Nunchuck Tyler is a hero himself on many levels, trying to save the world from evil with his nunchucks of fury and doom. His nunchucks of chaos. Yes, Nunchuck Tyler wants to be your friend till the end. Be your friend till the end of time. Yeah.
Enter the Hall of Fame now, right?
I know, like, how did he beat that?
I sent
Show's over. We're just leaving this.
Nunchuck Tyler is $15 on Cameo.
That is an investment.
I sent the request at 9:01 p.m. on a weeknight. He got back to me with that video at 9:19.
You're a legend.
King behavior right there.
That's amazing.
Well, I'm ready to have everyone else compete, but he's entering the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I had a feeling before I did that because I was gonna bring up like videos of his, and then I was scrolling through his videos and he had thing that was like on Cameo now. He just got on there, and then I was like, okay, but how much is it? And it was $15. And
Yes, I'm committing to this bit.
I'm going to be a frequent customer.
Nunchuck Tyler's probably wishing every single soul a happy birthday.
But you at the beginning of the show said that like any of us were as good as at nunchucks as him, but he was throwing them down.
That was the best he's ever looked by far.
He really brought out hero quality for that. He was like, I'm about to go.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta earn this $15. They're gonna be really disappointed if I don't perform.
That he hit his light, like he was great.
He broke his tripod once.
He did break his tripod. He has an entire song about it.
If you go on 5 times a day, inevitably you gotta improve, right? And I think he's really, he's showing improvement.
So here's my question. Nunchuck Tyler's going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Do we allow Hendry to advance Or
Sure, we make the
right,
rules.
Joe Hendry will move on. Nunchuck Tyler has bypassed
the bracket, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
I
STD
knew it.
and Nunchuck Tyler have already bypassed the bracket and gone to the Hall of Fame.
Our heroes.
I just want to throw it out there real quick. The typical format of a Nunchuck Tyler video. He gets a kind of funny idea, right? And then he starts doing his little song and skit, and like it's pretty good for the first 15 to 30 seconds of the 60-second TikTok, right? And then he completely runs out of gas.
I love that
Just
for him.
no steam.
And
And
relatable.
it gets so much funnier.
Also,
love
like
that.
great mustache, you
Great
know,
mustache.
like that.
And the shirt, like
That
Yeah.
man definitely owned, like 15 years ago, he had a pair of cargo shorts and a Zelda Triforce t-shirt. You know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He played Virtual Boy.
Yes.
Luna Darcy, are you trying to get on the villains bracket? Come here.
Ooh.
Come here. Be a hero.
All right, Juice. What's the next match?
Come here. Come here, Charles. Go grab our daughter. She's being
So Dante versus Garcia.
the guy we can't remember.
The guy we can't
For
find
Radish Joy.
versus the thirst trap
Listen,
bear.
the method always is bear. You choose the bear.
choose the bear.
The
You know,
bear.
my-
Versus the
Yeah.
mysterious man.
Yeah, mysterious man, a man I know nothing about, or a bear who does nothing but treat ladies with respect. Gotta go with
Well,
bear.
thank you,
But you know he has a funny taste in movies. So
Dante could be anybody. He could even be a bear.
He could be.
Dante could be
A
there.
bear could have a letterbox.
yeah. Do we know that Garcia and Dante are not the same person? Like,
They could be, to be honest.
Yeah.
They could be.
I like
That's why I
That could
can't
be
find him.
Agent Garcia's go-to letterbox. He like doesn't want, old Saint Nick to know
Yeah.
that he's reviewing movies.
it's like had they been in the room at the same time? We don't know.
And like this, it's a good working theory.
But I'm gonna go with Garcia.
Yeah, I'm still gonna choose the bear.
No,
Sorry,
choose the
Dante.
bear.
Thank for the hours of time you put
Let's
into this
move
today to
on.
find him. We do salute
I'll
you.
find him and he'll go in the Hall of Fame.
For our next heroes bracket, you find him. We are instantly putting him on the Hall of Fame. Absolutely.
Okay, so now it's Raygun and Alessandra.
Oh, Two honestly powerhouse women.
Yeah.
In their own right, brought me immense joy, equally in their own right.
Happy birthday!
I think being intoxicated brings a little bit more joy out of both of them, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. Raygun brought joy to the world. Alessandra is just bringing joy to the greater Orlando area.
And Raygun does get funnier when you're intoxicated.
Yes, this is true.
Imagine watching Raygun with Alessandra.
Oh,
That would
now
be perfect
be
lineup.
Her Uber
Now-
driver.
absolutely impeccable.
It
Absolutely
takes
impeccable.
a lot of courage to be an Uber driver, but there are a lot of Uber drivers across the world, right?
Yeah.
Only one person went into the Olympics with the amount of confidence and
Yes.
courage that Raygun had.
So true. So true.
Hero behavior.
Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have to give it to Raygun, I think, even though obviously we know I picked Alessandra over my own friend. So we know that I have love in my heart for her. Only, we can't show too much of a bias, Juice. Is all. You already won one bracket.
I did.
So for that reason, I have to go with Raygun. But I just want it to be known. Alessandra, wherever you are,
Yeah.
I want to wish you a happy birthday.
So Raygun.
Raygun.
What if it is her birthday? We don't know.
We don't know.
Would be.
That's right.
Let's see
I
when
don't know what
Raygun's birthday
was.
was.
No, that was rude of me, honestly.
Could have been the same day.
And we got one last.
Oh, I'm looking up Raygun birthday. September 2nd. That's close.
It was pretty close.
Very
Yeah, we were
close.
there like in September
I
20th.
think it was end of September though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Raygun. So Gojira versus Duff Gardens. Oh man.
Oh, man.
Oh, these are like Mike's two favorite
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
That's hard for him. Boy dinner.
I love Gojira. What they did was amazing. But Duff Gardens is it's home.
Yeah.
When you're here, you're family.
It's Duff Gardens.
Seriously, I think of that as a place where a lot of the friendships on the screen went from friendships to family.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I have a group picture of the first time we went. I was there of all of us in Duff Gardens, and I have it saved on my phone somewhere. It's like so.
So truly, Duff Gardens really has been such a magical part of all of our lives. Oh,
Yep.
Sorry, Gojira. It's Duff Gardens. Are we all agreeing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. What does that leave us with? Nunchuck Tyler has already made it to the Hall of Fame.
So it's Joe Hendry versus Agent Garcia, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to upload an image. Yeah. So
I'm keeping that in my pocket.
Duff.
What are you keeping in your pocket?
Don't worry about it.
Duff Gardens
That's something in this movie.
and Ray Gun, our Elite Four. Is
Oh my God. This is impossible. This is how we end up nominating so many people to be winners.
Joe Hendry, Garcia,
We already had
Ray
one that
Gun,
wasn't
Duff
on the
Gardens.
bracket get into the Hall of Fame tonight.
Sometimes you bypass it. Looking at you, Dan
Yeah,
Campbell.
wait.
Looking at you, Fluffy Taco Palace. When you're
Straight.
that iconic of a hero, you bypass it. Do y'all want to know what I'm actually most afraid of about quarterback season 2? Can I tell y'all a true fear I have about it? What if by the end of it, I like Joe Burrow? I can't even think of the thought. No, it won't happen. It can't possibly happen. He's too much of a slime ball.
I really enjoy Joe Burrow. But what also, like, the other thing you could be afraid of is, like, what if they put in, like, Kirk Cousins' visit with Trump?
Oh no! I hope not. Kirky, it's hard to love him sometimes, but I do love him.
We'll live in ignorant bliss unless it happens.
That's true. You're right. Anyways, sorry everyone for the quarterback season 2. Brief. Honestly, I would have really been into the mascots season. I just want everyone to know I would have watched it.
I was getting sold.
I was like, I want to see the behind the scenes of Rory the Lion, truly. But anyhow, sorry, that news dropped today and it's in my head. Back to the hand.
Joe Hendry and Garcia.
Oh, going Joe Hendry. It's so hard. Again, I mean, the rule of thumb we've been going is choose the bear over the man.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Hendry, though, 5 hours of wrestling.
You say his name and he appears.
So many hours of wrestling, and he certainly was the most entertaining part for me. You can't deny that.
You heard the crowd when he came out.
Yeah, it was him and The Miz. I do love The Miz, mostly because of the challenge, not really anything to do with wrestling. You and your real world days, sir.
Can I tell the story of how I discovered Joe Hendry?
Go for it.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't really keep up with wrestling stuff that much. Like maybe the big pay-per-views, that kind of thing. But there was another like TikTok. I'm not on the TikTok platform, but like a YouTube short, and it was Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams that everybody loves from that one amazing year with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
he scored 18 touchdowns, something like that.
Yes, he beat Barry Sanders.
I'd run through a wall for that man. Truly, I would.
So he goes up to a reporter and he's like, hey guys, I just learned something. Are you ready for it? And he's like, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And then he walked away. So what do you do after that? But immediately Google, who is Joe Hendry?
Yeah.
Fair.
I love that Jamal Williams brought you to Joe Hendry. Another reason, actually, Jamal Williams, hero. Another reason.
Jamal Williams has bypassed the bracket.
I'd do it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This is tough. That's a great way to learn about him. I learned about him through you.
Actually,
and then
it was AJ who introduced him to
and
me.
then I watched this insanely long wrestling event. Which my favorite thing about these wrestling events, the old Royal Rumble, is because, of course, you have a bunch of people supposedly rumbling at a time, but you also, obviously, the crowd and the crowd at home wants to watch the entrances. Everyone just has to, like, take a little nap during the entrances. So they're like, oh, I'm hurt for like 30 seconds. And it's my favorite thing. I just love watching what they're doing in the ring, like kind of just killing time for the entrance. Fantastic.
Unless it's Roman Reigns, where it's supposed to be 90 seconds and it's actually 5 minutes.
And then I'm like, wow, they're really down, taking a little nap there in the ring. But yes, that's the true hero is the acting that they have to do, waiting for the entrances. But with that said, Adrian Garcia, I love you. I've chosen you in every round. But I do believe in Joe Hendry. Oh, I gotta go with Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I'm going with Joe Hendry.
It hurts me to say. It hurts me to say, Adrian Garcia. I'm so sorry.
I'm going just for that synchronized clap. I'm going Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry is in the finals.
All right. Okay. And then
we got
So Ray
Gunn versus Duff Gardens.
Yeah.
Ray Gunn, you had your moment in the sun. We all enjoyed it. I'm very sorry, but
we discussed how we became a family at Duff Gardens.
This is not a conversation to be had right now.
Family! You don't argue with
Yes,
family.
there we go.
Boy dinner.
Wait, actually, I don't think that was. I think that was.
That's the photo we should have used for the villains bracket.
That's not Duff Gardens.
Yeah, that's not Duff Gardens. That's that other place. Yeah.
But,
this is before I got my cup. And that was the moment you guys made fun of me finally enough for not getting the cup. They're like,
get the cup.
You gotta get the cup.
You lost money, basically.
Yeah.
Not getting the cup.
And you get more in the cup.
So, Juice, once again, when is Reagan's birthday?
September 2nd.
Okay, so that performance was August 9th. So imagine doing that, and then less than a month later, it's your birthday.
I mean, I bet she celebrated her birthday beautifully.
Juice, I sent the actual picture.
I'm voting Duff Gardens, but imagine,
Yeah, I imagine.
Been a great birthday.
Wow. So we have, again, tonight we've already inducted Nunchuck Tyler.
And Sloppy Taco Palace, which was not on the bracket.
It's not on the bracket. But that is how iconic it is, y'all. And now our final is When You're Here, Your Family, Duff Gardens versus Joe Hendry. And this is where, I'm sorry, Joe Hendry, but for me, your reign ends.
I said I didn't outright state it in the chat, but there was no question that Duff Gardens was going to win this.
Yeah.
There they are. But seriously, Juice, why do you always look so intense? What is happening and why?
Okay.
I mean, AJ was kind of intense there, but
I'm going to try and fight for Joe Hendry.
Mike is always making like a stupid face. AJ's like, man, I'm here, I'm chilling,
like
whatever.
any group picture, I pretty much just
I will stare through your skull in this photo. Your soul is mine.
Well, I think I can safely say for the bracket portion of this, congratulations, Duff Gardens.
yes.
Oh, I want to argue for my client.
Let him argue for his client.
Joe Hendry has the most elite use of social media of any wrestler of all time. Let's pull this picture back up. So that picture right there, he uses the same picture for basically everything in a way that people will be like, what do I name? Hey, Joe Hendry, what should I name my dog? And then he'll post the picture of himself. Somebody said, bro, the bit's getting old. Put the fries in the bag. He photoshopped a McDonald's headset on his head and used the same picture. This man is elite. He is, I think, the funniest person working in wrestling today. And he put something that's really unique and fun and innovative that brings people into pro wrestling, which is also something that, when it's good and it's a positive force in the world, is awesome. So I just want to give that love to Joe Hendry in general.
I do believe in him.
We believe in you, Joe Hendry. Just not enough to put you in the Hall of Fame.
When you're here, your family. Duff Gardens. Right. Congratulations to the inductees tonight. Duff Gardens.
Of that wonderful
great honorary of boy dinner. The absolutely iconic Nunchuck Tyler. Thank you for that beautiful cameo.
Nunchuck Tyler, just a hero what the show needed. Most definitely the best hero of March Madness. Yeah, Nunchuck Tyler is the coolest hero ever because he wants to spread peace and love to everyone. He wants everyone to have a good day. Your day's bad? Not anymore. Nunchuck Tyler's here to save that. You having a rough time at work? Not anymore. Nunchuck Tyler will save you from your coworkers. Nunchuck Tyler is the hero that everyone needs, and they didn't know they needed. But they do. So Nunchuck Tyler should be the hero of What the Show for many reasons. Because Nunchuck Tyler is a hero himself on many levels, trying to save the world from evil with his nunchucks of fury and doom. His nunchucks of chaos. Yes, Nunchuck Tyler wants to be your friend till the end. Be your friend till the end of time. Yeah.
Honestly,
That's
that was
awesome.
beautiful. And truly, also Nunchuck Tyler, you didn't know this, but I was having a bad day today, and I do really think you were the hero I needed today. Everyone, the heroes were who we, made along the way. Everyone today for bringing some joy into this otherwise kind of sad year is a true hero. And so for you, Nunchuck Tyler, Sloppy Taco Balance,
And
Duff
Duff
Gardens, our new 2025 inductees. Till next week.
Although technically, wait, isn't it? Aren't we supposed to have the winners? Like, wouldn't Duff Gardens technically face the winner of next week's bracket?
We're inducting one this week and one next week. Yeah, because after Scooch Coach.
Yeah, you're right.
Scotch debacle. We're like, we're just inducting both of them.
Yeah.
We make the rules, baby.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
For roping. I like that. You're a jabroni. Go ahead.
Nunchuck Tyler.
Doing his nunchucks the best that he can.